What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream from Scalar Learning. Today is a special day because it is June 17th, 1980, or June 17th, 2019, which is my birthday. I was born on June 17th, 1980. So that means today I am 39. If you follow me on Instagram, I put a funny post about the number 39. It's got a cool, interesting, fun facts about how it can be formed using different prime numbers. It's also, 39 is actually also, here, let me write it out for you. It's also, oops, my whiteboard is not working here. Let's see. Let's get it up here on this one. We'll use AWAP today. So it's also the sum of the first three powers of 3. So for example, if it's 3 to the first plus 3 to the second plus 3 to the third, right? Oops. So this is 3 plus 9 plus 27, and of course that equals 39. So that's a fun little fact. All right, let's get into some SAT math. Today we are jumping into right triangle word problems. And if you guys are new to the live streams, of course, I'm doing these problems for the first time, so I haven't seen them before, and that's part of the fun, and also part of the message is to show you how I have to think and react on my feet and how you can do the same thing in real time. All right, here we go. Right triangle word problems. I'm going to take a screenshot of this and paste it on the board here. Okay. So let's read the problem. It says 2 football players are located at points A and B in a rectangular football field as shown at left. Point A is located 50 yards from the west edge. Hold on. Let's write this here. Point A, it's at because it's at the 50-yard line from the west edge. So I assume this is the west edge. Usually we look at west as left and east as right. From the west edge and 25 yards from the south edge, and I think this would be considered the south edge, even though it doesn't show it in the diagram. Point B is located 12 yards from the east edge. Again, that would be this guy right here. And 0 yards from the south edge because it's on the south edge, as you can see in the diagram. What is the distance in yards between the two players? So from A to B. Now, this is a right triangle problem. You don't need to be able to draw a nice straight edge like I'm about to do, but we'll make a little right triangle here. Okay? And by the way, that's actually a decent message in a lot of these problems. When you can create a right triangle, you probably should. You're probably going to be using either Pythagorean's theorem or something along those lines. Now, we want this distance here, x, which happens to be the hypotenuse of this right triangle, right, which is opposite the right angle. So we know that, and we can use Pythagorean's theorem because we already know that this side here is 25, but we don't know this side yet. But we can calculate it because it's in between the 50-yard line and the 12-yard line, which means that the length of the difference of the two, which is 38. So this is on the calculator section. If you wanted to, you can go ahead and plug that into your calculator and subtract it, but welcome to do it mentally. So and now we need to calculate this x value. So let's put it into Pythagorean's theorem. So let's call this is the A, this is the B, and it doesn't matter which is which, to be honest. What matters is that x is the c. So if we remember, it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we've got 25 squared plus 38 squared equals x squared. So we can multiply this. I know mentally 25 squared is 625. 38, I don't know. Let's open up a calculator. $38 times 38 equals 1444 equals x squared. So we can add this and use a calculator or not. This should be, let's see, 2069. So 2069 equals x squared. We'll double check that math just to be safe. 625. Oops, plus 625. Yep, 2069. And then we take the square root, right? Look, here's the deal. We're trying to get x squared. We want x, so we take the square root of both sides, essentially undoing that square root, and then x equals what? Square root of 2069. Now, again, very important to watch these directions. And look, this is a free response question, so it's got to be exactly precise. Round your answer to the nearest tenth, so we round this up to the nearest tenth. We'd round it to 45.5. All right, let's make sure that is correct. Make sure we didn't make any mistakes. Yeah. All right, next. Wanatan is cooking a breadstick on a rectangular baking sheet measuring 9.5 by 13. Look, as soon as I hear the word rectangle, boom, draw a rectangle. And it gives us the dimensions. It says 9.5 inches by 13 inches, okay? Assuming the breadstick width is negligible, so we're essentially assuming it's a straight line. What is the longest breadstick Wanatan could bake by fitting it inside straight along the diagonal? All right, so look, what are we doing? Once again, we're talking about a diagonal, but when I draw that in, you can clearly see, oh, we've created another right triangle, right? So this is also 13 down here, 9.5. And we need to find the hypotenuse. This is essentially a repeat of the last question. So let's again use Pythagorean's theorem. So this is our x value. And it is the hypotenuse because it's opposite the right angle. So 9.5 squared plus 13 squared equals x squared. 13 squared is 169. 9.5, I don't know. Let's see. 9.5. 90.25. So we got 90.25. And then that is 259.25. Let's double check the math. Plus 169. Good. 259.25. And then again, we undo that square root, right? So we're taking the square root of both sides. So square root of, and we get 16.10. And then to the nearest inch would be 16 inches. So let's see. Boom. Yeah. All right, next question. Okay, due to the weather. So look, let me tell you what I'm already seeing. I'm looking at this diagram. Now, if you're pressed for time, and look at all it's a reasonably lengthy word problem, but I'm looking at this and I'm saying, I already know this is my x value. This is what I'm trying to find. We got a right triangle. We're probably using Pythagorean's theorem. So if I was crunched for time, I'd just be like, I just set it up. This is like my a value. Okay. 605 could be my b value or a value, it doesn't matter. But the main thing is this is my c value, right? And if I know that I have to solve this equation, boom, I go for it. Let's read it just for fun and make sure I'm not off base. It says, due to weather, a barge captain decides to reach her destination in 2 legs. One due north and one due west on a direct route. Her destination is about 1830 miles away. If after traveling 605 due north, time to go due west, how many more miles are left? Yeah, so it's just how far you have to go there. The setup is already good. Let's go. And this is definitely a calculator problem. So 1830 squared. Oops. Well, it's a big number. 3348900. 3348900 equals 605 squared. 366025. Then we got x squared. So I'm going to subtract 366025. 66025. Boom. And let's see. Wait, we need to. So what I'm going to do is just to save time. I'm going to actually take this minus the bigger number. Doesn't matter. We'll get the same answer. It'll just be negative, and it's supposed to be positive. 3348900. 3348900. So we got 2982875. 2982875. 2875. And then we take the square root of this, and we're good to go. And again, we want to round to the nearest mile. So watch that instruction, especially on the free response. So 298. Okay. Let's multiply this by -1, make it positive, and then we take the square root. So it's 1727 rounded up. It's just that's it because it's 0.1, 1727 done. All right, boom. Next. Again, this one you notice right off the bat they're giving a shape, but they're not giving a diagram. So the first thing we're going to do is create a diagram, create a rectangle. All right. The windows are, oh wait, hold on. Abby is buying a rectangular widescreen that she will hang on the wall between 2 windows, such that the longer side, yeah, of course. The windows are 36 inches apart horizontally, and the widescreen TV is approximately approximately twice as wide as it's tall. So we can even say this is 2x, this is x, and they're saying approximately. That's fine. Let's get these windows in here. The windows are 36 inches apart. So let's say we have windows here, like this, and like this. Okay, and this distance is 36 inches. Okay, so we want it to fit in between the windows. Now you know that I've sort of drawn it with space. So I think the presumption is that we're gonna get these guys right next to each other. Okay, which means that the width of the TV is actually going to be 36. So if the width equals 36, it means 2x equals 36. So this guy's 36. Then of course x is half of that, right? If we isolate for x as 18, so it's a length of 18, or sorry, a height of 18, we should say. And again, they want the largest diagonal. So you see, we're talking about again creating a nice right triangle. And we see this length is 36. This one is 18. And let's solve. So, oh, by the way, I just realized this is actually a 30, 60, 90. I know that because, oh wait, sorry. No, it's not. That would be if this were half the hypotenuse. Sorry, it's half the bigger leg, so it's not true. So let's use Pythagorean theorem. So we got 18 squared, this guy, which is A, plus 36 squared, which is B, equals our C squared, or C value. I think 18 squared is 324. I don't know 36 squared. Squared equals 1296. And I'm going to double check the 18 squared because we don't want to mess around with that. Yeah. All right. So we got 324 plus 1296. And 1620. Boom. So x squared, and let's write it up here, 1620 equals x squared. Take the square root of both sides, and we get so we got 40.24. These are weird values because the thing is, of these, see, this is giving me a moment of pause. 32 would be the largest because 42 is beyond what I just calculated, right? The max we could have is 40.24. Now, I was expecting to see the answer of 40, not 32, because it's so much below the largest distance. So I'm going to just reread this question one more time, make sure I didn't make any silly mistakes. Abby's buying a rectangular widescreen TV that she will hang on the wall between two windows such that the longer side of the TV is horizontal. We got that in the diagram. The windows are 36 inches apart. And I think we got that nicely, right? So this is 36 across. And then the TV is approximately twice as wide as it is tall. So if this is 36, this would be 18. I think we got that. All right. I think I read everything correctly. I think it's correct. Let's see. And if it's wrong, we'll see why. No, it's correct. All right. Perfect. Boom. Excellent. Last question. Question number 5. Bilal is assembling a set of bunk beds. Let me clear the screen. Make sure the support posts are perpendicular to the floor. So I think we're just going to start off with like a rectangle of some sort. Wants to make sure the support posts are perpendicular to the floor. Sure. So we could call these the supports. Measures that the posts are 165 centimeters tall. So let's say this. Look, we can even draw something in like this to make it look more like a post. And 220 centimeters apart. Guess what? That's this value. All right. How long should the diagonal measurement be in centimeters if the support posts are perpendicular to the floor? Diagonal would come across like this. Or you know what? Let's do it the other way. Doesn't matter. But now we got, again, a nice right triangle. They're saying this has to be perpendicular, so it's a right triangle. And we want this value. So again, we use Pythagorean's theorem, 165 squared. That's my A value. Plus 220 is my B value, equals x squared. We got 165 squared plus 220 squared. Oh, shoot. Squared equals that. 75625. 7. And then we take the square root of both sides because we want just x, not x squared. 275. Nice round, perfect number. X equals 275. Boom. Oops. Oh, I just totally zoomed out. Hold on. We'll have this up here just so you guys can see it. Okay, 275. Boom. I see it. There it is. All right. So we got that one right too. Now, these are interesting questions. I'm not sure. I think I've talked about this before. A lot of these Khan Academy practice problems, they're great, and I think they are the most reliable in terms of good practice resources. But sometimes there's a little disconnect between what I see here and on the real test and practice tests and so on from College Board. So these are all right problems, but I haven't seen things this similar. Hey, yo, thank you guys for the happy birthday. I appreciate that. Yes. Okay, if you guys have any questions, speak now. If not, then we are done for today. And make sure to check back every week for more SAT math problems. Tomorrow we're going to be cranking through some full-length ACT math section. And then, of course, we're going to be resuming with IC stuff and more minute study tips coming up on Fridays. Thank you guys so much for joining, and thank you for the birthday wishes. I'll see you guys next time.